In my statement today, I would be broadly focusing on four aspects. The first aspect relates to the deliberations of the Monetary Policy Committee and its decision. In the second part, I would be focusing on an assessment of growth and inflation. Then I would move on, and as a third aspect, third part of my statement, I would be focusing on the financial market and liquidity conditions. And finally, I would be announcing certain additional measures on behalf of the Reserve Bank of India. I request your patience. The Monetary Policy Committee MPC met on 4th, 5th and 6th August 2021. Based on an assessment of the evolving domestic and global macroeconomic and financial conditions and outlook, the MPC voted unanimously to keep the policy repo rate unchanged at 4%. The MPC also decided on a 5-to-1 majority to continue with the accommodative stance as long as necessary to revive and sustain growth on a durable basis and continue to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the economy while inflation remains within the target going forward. The marginal standing facility, that is MSF rate, and the bank rate remain unchanged at 4.25%. The reverse repo rate also remains unchanged at 3.35%. Today, we are in a much better position than at the time of the meeting of the MPC in June 2021. As the second wave of the pandemic ebbs, containment eases and slowly we build back, vaccine manufacturing and administration are steadily rising. Yet the need of the hour is not to drop our guard and to remain vigilant against any possibility of a third wave, especially in the background of rising infections in certain parts of the country. Our actions, together with those of the government, are aimed at alleviating distress and prioritizing growth while keeping the financial system healthy and stable. Our approach can best be described by weaving together two quotes from Martin Luther King Jr., and I quote, "But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. Keep moving, let nothing slow you up, move on," unquote. Let me begin by setting out the rationale underlying the MPC's decision. The MPC met in the shadow of the two recent inflation prints being above the tolerance band of the inflation target. It noted that economic activity has broadly evolved on the lines of the MPC's expectations in June, and the economy is recovering from the setback of the second wave. The monsoon has revived after a brief hiatus, and Kharif sowing is now gaining momentum. Some high-frequency indicators are also looking up again during the months of June and July. Our expectation is that activity is likely to gather pace with progressive upscaling of vaccinations, continued large policy support, buoyant exports, better adaptations to COVID-related protocols, and benign monetary and financial conditions. Consumer price inflation surprised on the upside in May, reflecting a combination of adverse supply shocks, elevated logistics costs, high global commodity prices, and domestic fuel taxes. In June, headline inflation remained above the tolerance level, but price momentum moderated. Also, core inflation softened from its peak in May. International crude oil prices remain volatile. Any moderation in prices as a consequence of OPEC Plus agreement could contribute towards alleviating inflation pressures. On balance, the outlook for aggregate demand is improving, but underlying conditions are still weak. Aggregate supply is also lagging below pre-pandemic levels. While several steps have been taken to ease supply constraints, more needs to be done to restore supply-demand balance in a number of sectors of the economy. The recent inflationary pressures are evoking concerns. But the current assessment is that these pressures are transitory and largely driven by adverse supply side factors. We are in the midst of an extraordinary situation arising from the pandemic. And this is a point which I have been highlighting almost in every monetary policy statement starting March last year. The conduct of monetary policy during the pandemic has been geared to maintain congenial financial conditions that nurture and rejuvenate growth. At this stage, therefore, continued policy support from all sides, fiscal, monetary, and sectoral, is required to nurture the nascent